So now we're going to, by the magic of technology, dial in through the internet to Sydney, Nova Scotia to hear from Mathew Georghiou, founder of GoVenture World. Mathew, take it away.
Oh, very good. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay.
We can hear you and see you.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for allowing me to connect from my office in Nova Scotia. I'm Mathew Georghiou, founder, CEO, and Chief Experience Designer at MediaSpark. MediaSpark is a software development and publishing company, and we specialize in educational games and simulations. And this includes software simulations, mobile apps, board games, card games, and blended games. Now, we've been around for quite some time, and over the past decade, we've sold our GoVenture games and simulations to thousands of schools and other organizations, including in every state in the U.S., every province in Canada, and several countries around the world. We've also worked with companies such as IBM, HP, Cisco, PricewaterhouseCoopers, the U.S. Federal Reserve, major publishers, and more. Now, we've developed many different types of products over the years, including chemistry, physics, math, health, and more, but we specialize in business and financial literacy simulations, educational products. In fact, we estimate that over 1 million people around the world have gained business and financial literacy skills using our programs. But we wanted to do more. We wanted to do something bigger, something more epic. So we set out to create a patent-pending experience that we believe has the potential to be the single biggest innovation in the history of entrepreneurship education and business simulation, to create the most authentic business game ever. Now, by authentic, I mean real. We want people playing our game to think like real entrepreneurs, to make decisions like real entrepreneurs, to interact with other players like real business people do. And we want the economics and markets to behave just as they would in the real world under similar circumstances. We wanted the experience to be so authentic that you'd add it to your real resume to help you get a job, further your career, or launch your own startup. And perhaps, if everything works out as we hope, our game on your resume will hold more value than a university business degree. Or maybe you'll just play our game because you have fun and find it engaging. And in the process, help us build a billion-dollar business, and that's billion with a B. That's our vision for GoVenture World. GoVenture World is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game for entrepreneurship. A better way to describe it is a global business game where you run a virtual business but compete and collaborate with others around the world doing the same thing. But unlike other business games, GoVenture World is not something you play while sitting at a computer for hours. It's not an avatar-driven 3D virtual world. Instead, it's a live role-playing experience that becomes integrated into your daily life, almost in an augmented reality sort of way. Not through fancy Google goggles and headgear, but through everyday technology devices. GoVenture World is a global business game that's always on. Players can choose to start manufacturing or retail businesses. They can choose to be lawyers, protecting intellectual property and mediating disputes. They can be marketers, helping companies promote their products and services. And they can be investors, providing debt or equity financing to other businesses or purchasing stock on the GoVenture World Stock Exchange. GoVenture World doesn't just teach entrepreneurship and financial literacy. It lets you live entrepreneurship and financial literacy. In GoVenture World, the business may be virtual, but the experience is quite real. Now, even though GoVenture World is not yet launched, it is already gaining recognition. We were a finalist in the InnovaCore i3 Startup Competition, winning $40,000 in prizes. We've held webinars with people in the White House representing science and technology in Startup America. And during Global Entrepreneurship Week last November, GoVenture World was selected as one of the 50 brightest new startups in the world. There are two reasons we believe that GoVenture World has the potential to be the single biggest innovation in the history of entrepreneurship. First, because of the authenticity of the experience. And second, because of its scalability to reach millions of people around the world, distributing the power of entrepreneurship and financial literacy like never before. GoVenture World will soon be launched in the next number of weeks for testing, and we invite you to sign up at goventureworld.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mathew. I don't know if you heard before we were talking about there weren't enough entrepreneurs who were really wanting to go for it and really scale a big business and have that kind of confidence, but I think we've got one there. Is there a question from the panel? Gary Rabier.
Yeah, we talk a lot about entrepreneurs here and whatever, but ultimately an entrepreneur's success is often dependent on non-entrepreneurs, the people who work for them. And the biggest frustration we hear from entrepreneurs is, I can't get good people. I can't get as good at people as I'd like. Does your simulation also build in the talent pool, the people that will ultimately make an entrepreneur's success real as well, or is it just the entrepreneur that's involved in the game?
Thanks, Gary. Because our game is a casual, entertainment-focused game with educational byproduct underneath that, we anticipate that most people who play our game won't necessarily be entrepreneurs. And if you look at some statistics you're probably familiar with, 50 to 70% of people in North America want to start a business someday, but of course a very small percentage ever will. So by playing our game, we're increasing the financial literacy of the average consumer and the person who's going to be working in that business, ultimately helping the entrepreneurs to succeed. So we think, you're right, that most of the influence will not just be the entrepreneur who learns financial literacy and then starts a business, but it's those people supporting them that will be able to directly interact and create those relationships and help with that success.
Okay, we're going to go straight on to the next presenter, because no one's had a bathroom break in 2 hours. Thank you, Matthew.